once dropped to the MIDI Tools folder within the user library, they should automatically appear in two categories here, Generators and Transformers. Okay, so I think it's time to start adding some acidic bass to our pattern using one of the other generators, and I'll fold to the scale. I will start with Metasketch, which is not unlike the shape tool, but it's contextual to the number of notes in the clip and the grid length. So if I set this to a 2-bar pattern, then I will get 32 of these that I can write in here. Now, I want them to play at a lower octave, so I will drop the floor, the C0, down, as well as the ceiling. So now these notes, which I can draw here, are going to be compressed to this range. I think I'll go back up to C1. And I think I'll stop the kick. Now that's way too busy. So it could be cool to reduce the density, which is going to probabilistically make the pattern that I've written in less busy. This could also be a good opportunity to look at the pattern masking, which you might recognize from the Metarhythm. So now only every other note is playing, and again, I can offset which other note, but it can be cool to have every third note. So these are all written into the C minor scale I've already selected. If I want a busier pattern, I might want to just click the opposite. But because I already have these notes in, so to look at a busy variation on this pattern, I'll duplicate the clip and delete all the notes, and then click this to invert, and it's going to remember this pattern that I've written in here. So now it's playing the opposite notes. So instead of every third note, it's playing the first and second, not the third. So this is the exclusion mode, in other words. So there's the third again, same as before. And here's the oh yeah, something interesting going on there. And maybe for this variant, I would raise the ceiling, and we can see those notes go up a bit higher. Now, I'll go one more time with Metasketch before moving on to our other more sophisticated melodic and harmonic generation tools. And I think I'll just stop all the bells. It's getting a little bit crazy. And here we go. I will, in this case, set the loop length a bit shorter. So we'll have a 3-beat pattern. And now as I begin to draw notes here, it will adapt to the new pattern length. So we get as many notes as are available in the current loop brace, which is pretty phenomenal. However, it's also remembered this masking pattern. So I'll just set that back to 1. So we're going to hear every one of them. And I can see one of these a little too high. Let's take a listen. Okay, so these are like a bit silly, but okay. Now, of course, I could go back and edit those in the clip. Make them a bit shorter. And if it's too busy, again, there are two things I can do. I can reduce the density until I get a non-busy rhythmic version that I like, or I can say, hey, just give me not every fourth note, but the inverse of that. Ha, it's a little goofy. Let's try the inverse of every fifth. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Nice.